Did you watch the Roseanne reboot?
I did not, because I just could not bring myself to do it.
Why was that?
Because first of all, Roseanne Barr, the comedian herself, has really flown off the rails. She has just completely dived into the deep end over the past few years.
Okay, I thought it was just me.
No, it's definitely not just you. She's definitely been... Ever since Hillary Clinton lost the Democratic nomination to Barack Obama, I remember this very clearly because Roseanne Barr wrote a whole opinion piece talking about how Barack Obama needed to bow to the woman who had been putting in years and years of community. Oh, I remember it vividly because I was like, who is this white bitch talking about a black man need to bow down to another white woman? Fuck that. And so from that day on, I was looking at her crazy. She wrote a whole piece about how Barack Obama needed to bow down to Hillary Clinton and let Hillary, have this moment or whatever. That's clearly not what happened. And I think ever since then, she has been pissed and has kind of gone off into a whole nother, into the MAGA direction instead, like her true feelings of just white nationalism and other bullshit. So knowing that they were Trump supporters on the show, first of all, made sense because they were poor white trash when it first aired. So those people are Trump supporters. Right. It makes sense. But I don't need that kind of bullshit in my entertainment when I already get it in my news.
Thanks.
I just don't need to hear the stories of Trump supporters. I don't need to know what their lives are like. I don't need to know what their struggles are. I don't care about their economic anxiety or whatever other bullshit they have. I just do not care because the man is a stone cold fucking racist and there's no two ways about it. And if you support him, then you are either also racist or you don't have a problem with his racism. It's one of those two things. And so I just cannot be bothered. So I just chose to not watch it.
That's literally, you just said exactly everything.
But I heard it was good.
I mean, aside from the Barack Obama Hillary Clinton.
Oh God, I'm about to Google it and see which outlet published it because it was so fucking crazy.
But I didn't even know anything about Trump until many episodes ago. I don't remember when it was. He had a show and I remember coming on here and saying that I woke up in the middle of the night in the hotel and Roseanne, a marathon was on and how much I loved the theme song. And I thought Roseanne was so funny and gave it the points. And much like this happens every time I mention a white person I like, the very next day somebody is like, oh, Lord. Here's how they're terrible. So the very next day, someone was like, oh, here are all of the times that Roseanne Barr has said that they support Trump. And I'm like, what?
She said something about a Nazi salute today on Twitter and then deleted it like niggas didn't already take a screenshot. Like, she's out of it. But I just found the essay I was talking about. It was published by the Huffington Post on March 7th, 2008. And it opens with Barack Obama bow to the woman and take the vice presidency. Let our country heal, I guess, from the other Bush. You will run in 8 years and be unstoppable as a visionary world leader. You must pass through this filter first, though. Bow to the woman. And then it just goes on and on with her white woman bullshit.
Well, yeah, I actually heard mixed things about it, but I heard mostly good things about the reboot.
I know there's a black grandbaby in there somewhere.
I saw that in the trailer, which, furrowed my brows, but...
DJ's child or something. Although she didn't look biracial, so that made me wonder, is she adopted?
I'm assuming one of them adopted her.
I don't even want to know because the thought of a black child being raised in a Trump household is too much for me to handle. And I know they're out there. I do. I know it's a lot of y'all out here black with white family members and have to deal with that bullshit. And it's just too much. It's too much. I don't have to deal with Trump family members. Thank God. They might be a little conservative. Like my uncle just today on Facebook posted a picture of black men in Harlem in 1940s, back when men wasn't afraid to dress like men. And I was like, oh, God, here we fucking go. But at least this nigga is not voting for Trump. Right. I just feel like there's some things I can handle and some I can't. And that's just too much. The thought of a black child having to deal with that bullshit.
So, says here on Washington Examiner, Donald Trump Jr. congratulates Roseanne Barr for high ratings.
Oh, see.
They live. No. I can't. I'm sorry. Roseanne was funny when it first came out, but everybody already knows how I feel about reboots. Mm-hmm. So it's not even I'm just and I was never such a Roseanne fan that I'm just dying to. I don't need it.
I really was, though. I really loved it. And even now, if I catch a marathon of the old episodes, I do still sit down and watch it guiltily, but I do because I really loved that show. I really did. So it sucks, but I mean, I've been watching The Office, honestly, because of your black ass.
So good.
I got through the first season very quickly. The first season only like 6 episodes or
short.
Something. But Diversity Day is maybe episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's very soon.
That fucked me up.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites, too.
That fucked me up. I said, wow, straight out the gate.
Yeah.
That white woman with the Jamaican sign on her face.
Angela. That's my
Her
avatar.
face, when Mindy Kaling slaps the shit out of, what's the boss's name?
Michael.
When she slaps the shit out of Michael for that Indian impression shit.
Oh my gosh.
The look on that white girl's face as they're watching Mindy walk away is just like, are you fucking kidding?
Right.
I love the show. I do. For everybody who was like, if you like Parks and Rec, there's no chance you won't like this. You were right. It's so funny. Michael is the worst boss.
He's so, like, how has he not
I
been
would
fired?
have wanted to quit so many times. It's one of those jobs where your boss is such a fucking idiot that you stay because you would never get away with like being as lazy as you are somewhere else.
Exactly.
But he's such a fucking idiot that you have to deal with his shit. Dwight is hilarious. There's always that one ass kisser, ball sucker in the office who like just
and
that whole
gets on everybody else nerves.
Nobody else likes him. I love that Pam and Jim have this cute little, it's obviously like an attraction between the two of them. I haven't gotten to the point where I don't know if they act on it yet or not. I'm only
It gets on my nerves. I mean, it got on my nerves for like a good portion of the series that I was watching because like I won't say anything. It lasted longer than it needed to.
I liked it because it was two sane people bonding together over the ridiculousness of
and playing pranks on people and all of that fun stuff.
And then there's Stanley.
Who was me?
Stanley is so funny. There was a part where he was, Michael was doing performance evaluations.
Thank you.
I don't remember if he said something to Stanley like, you know, congratulations on making out the ghetto or something. It must have been so hard coming from where you come from. He said something ridiculous like that, and Stanley played along with it. And then in his interview, he was like, look, it's bonus time. I gotta get my fucking money. Like, if that means I'm gonna play into his little dumb bullshit stereotypes, then I'm gonna do it. And I was like, has there ever been a realer black man on TV? Has there ever? It is really funny, but it's one of those shows that you can't multitask and watch because so much of it is in the facial expressions and all that. Like, you really have to be totally focused on the TV when you watch it, but it is really good.
I loved.
So I'll be watching more of that.
In the episode where they were trying to like get health care or something, and Dwight was trying to like,
oh god, Dwight cut everybody's insurance,
and they all fucked around with him about like fake diseases that they had.
And he was like, you have to write down what disease you have.
He came out the fucking conference room when he realized that the shit was fake. And he was like, leprosy? Hot dog fingers. In that scene when Stanley was laughing, it's like one of the few times where you see Stanley laughing, and he was dying.
When Michael went to the liquor store and bought like 26 bottles of vodka for the holiday party, like, is that enough? Like, nigga, what?
Like those big cheap bottles.
They were huge, right?
That are in, like
McCormick's and shit. Like, you could have bought 3 of those and everybody would have been fucked up. The fact that you bought like a couple cases.
That show was so funny.
It is funny. It is funny. So I'll be watching that on demand instead of Roseanne, unfortunately.